swear this isn't gonna hurt. Chompy, don't lie to me, bro. Right. I'm trusting you. No, Ortis. Chompy said it's fine. It's fine. I gotta get this thing off my neck. Okay. Sweet Jesus! Oh my... what the... That wasn't so bad. I feel fine. Okay. Hey, everybody, remember me? Khora. Yeah, we kind of didn't really talk much about Khora. Well, there's a couple reasons for that, and today we are going to talk about Khora because we got everything that I've been waiting for. So let me clear out and then stack up our combo multiplier here. And then we'll make our way out with rolling guard. Pop down 2 of them. Try not to die. And this is where we're gonna live for the next 15-20 minutes. So let's chat. So episode 1. This ended with us being mastery rank 5 in terms of just sheer XP requirements. We cleared the majority of the star chart, I'd say about 75 to 80% by the end of the first 24 hours of the account's creation. We got our first Kubro. We farmed a bunch of early game endo to upgrade our mods from Deimos, Bounties, and Maru's Weekly Hunt. And overall, we just kind of progressed through the quests as much as possible. Episode 2, we continue on with the main quest. We unlock our first proper weapon, the Broken War. This carries us for the last few planets on the star chart that were giving us a little bit of a hard time. We also start focusing on melee mods, and you'll see why in a second. So we also get our Railjack, and I show you guys how to get our corrupted mods, which ultimately allowed us to make quite a bit of platinum for ourselves early on by selling all the duplicates. So we used some of this platinum to buy our first prime frame Khora, which you're seeing in the background here, which allows us to farm up as much, materials as we could possibly ever want. Towards the end of episode 2, we actually managed to complete the star chart, which unlocks arbitration and Steelpath with the help of our new corrupted mods and the Broken War. So, episode 3, we needed a ton of relics because Barrow was coming soon, and I wanted to be able to buy all the primed mods that he had available and get some, customizable armor sets, right? Because we were tired of looking kind of lame and boring. So I did a bunch of relics and showed you guys how I farmed them very quickly and efficiently, and yeah, that was pretty sweet. So I basically farmed about 250 relics, and I opened about 180 of them, and that allowed us to buy everything that we wanted from Barrow. We also spent a bunch of time gathering all the Requiem mods that we're going to need for future Kuva Lich hunts in an episode in the future. Then I focused on gathering the rest of the mods that we needed to finish both the Khora build and the Broken War build, because at this point the Broken War was still carrying us predominantly, and the Khora build needed to be a little bit stronger in order to actually perform well, like you're seeing in the background here in Steelpath. So I needed a bunch of mods. Some of those mods were from Deimos bounties and Cedo bounties, so I thought I'd show you guys which mods I prioritize and how to get them. We also get some nightmare mods that we want on the side, and we finish things off with doing a ton of arbitration to get, a fair amount of endo and our galvanized mods and other arbitration mods. Which leads us to last episode, episode 4, where I show you guys how I level up our weapons and frames quickly and easily, and we make huge progression when we finally get an affinity booster, and I level nearly 100 things all in a single sitting. I think we went from like rank 14 or 15 all the way up to almost 19 in like 5 or 6 hours. It was kind of insane. But we got a really, really special rare reward of a 75% off platinum ticket. I didn't want to waste that, but it didn't quite fit in episode 2 or 3, where that was kind of actually, truth be told, where I got it. I was mastery rank, I don't even know, like 8 or 9. It was like day 10, but I didn't want to distract from the, episode 2 and 3, so I just threw it in 4 because I felt like if I didn't put it in 4, then I wasn't really going to be able to use it ever. And I don't know, maybe it was a mistake on my end, but it was too fun not to use, and I just wanted to show it to you guys, so I threw it in 4. Better then than never, in my opinion. We get a very strong primary, which you'll see me using in the background here. It's the Cedo Prime. We're going to talk about it alongside the Khora build. Episode 4, we ended up getting, I think, like 90,000 endo or something in that week. And then we hit the jackpot with Sabbat rounds, sold it for 75 plat, which was crazy. We were just kind of goofing around, you know, trying to get some cool mods, and it worked out for us. Then we got our helmet online, made our Gauss, leveled him up, subsumed him, slapped him on Titania, and yeah, we sorted that out for our main speed farming build. We showed off a couple of runs with that, and here we are today. So, let's talk about this Khora build, finally. We use two augmented mods. We use Accumulating Whipclaw and Pilfering Strangledome. Long story short, Accumulating Whipclaw, more smacky smacks to hitting 3 enemies or more will grant a 35% stacking bonus. Yeah, just way more damage. So this kind of fits with the rest of the theme of the build of ramping up our damage. The first couple hits are going to be just like nothing. And then after, you know, 5-6 seconds, now we're hitting for millions of damage. So this helps with that. Pilfering Strangledome, more loot. But they have to be actually in the Strangledome for this to apply to them. Rolling Guard, just safety. So we're going to roll out, we're going to throw our domes down, and we're going to get back to safety. Well, this gives us 2.5 seconds of complete immortality to, you know, safely go out and do that and come back. Intensify, this just offsets the ability strength that we lose from overextended. You don't need to care too much about these mods as long as your, you know, stats are looking a little bit like this. We want a decent amount of duration, as close to 30 seconds as possible. I would like to get more. We will get more duration as soon as we get our Archon modifiers. Eventually we'll get Archon continuity, which will also make our viral be able to do corrosive, more status chance, but that's later. So this is for now a zero forma build, and then we've got this weird wonky gladiator resolve, which we're going to talk about this mechanic here shortly. But first, Arcane Energize, Arcane Fury. I got these 3 Arcane Furies, which gave us a rank 1. I got this from Nightwave for free. And then Arcane Energize, I bought 3 of these for 20 plat each. And then basically we have a 60% chance to replenish 50 additional energy on top of the regular just 50 that it gives us. So 60% chance to just get double energy from energy pickups. This is going to help us sustain our energy quite a lot. Now, if you don't want the extra critical chance, you can always swap out Gladiator Resolve for Flow or Primed Flow. You could use Umbral Intensify here instead to get more ability strength to make our Whipclaw do slightly more damage, although you really don't need it. You could take out Handspring. I just didn't because it would require me to reformat that slot. We could put Preparation in, although Preparation is only really beneficial for like the first like 2 minutes of a mission. Past that, you know, like it's not doing a whole lot in my opinion, so maybe it's not that worth it for like long survival runs. Or Power Drift would be a good alternative here for 15 additional ability strength to kind of offset that, you know, strength loss from overextended as well. But yeah, a lot of flex slots. You can do what you want. Like if you're not trying to farm, take off Pilfering Strangledome, throw on Adaptation for more tankiness. If you're not doing Steelpath and you're just farming regular, maybe you don't need Rolling Guard, and then you can throw on, you know, Augur Reach or Stretch or something for like, you know, bigger Pilfering Strangledome range. Like I said, a lot of room for improvement, a lot of flexibility here. This is just kind of what I'm setting up for. So we have the grab radius and the radius of 7 meters, which is a pretty small dome. I'll be completely honest with you, 7 meters is pretty small, but we offset that with Vortex, so melee Vortex. So let's go look at it really, really fast before we talk about the weapons, and this will make things make a little bit more sense. So killing an enemy affected by magnetic, there's a 35% chance to pull in that enemy within 18 meters radius. So we just have to kill them while they're affected by it. So I threw on Magnetic Rush. That actually saves us a slot because now we don't have to have a cold mod and an electric mod. So I threw on Gladiator's Might just for more critical damage. So we have got a 5 times crit damage multiplier here, which synergizes really, really well with our crit chance that we're getting. So we're getting 20% melee crit chance per combo multiplier. That stacks up to 12. So that's 240% crit chance from that. We're also getting crit chance with our combo multiplier from Blood Rush as well. So once we get our combo multi up, we're getting an absurd amount of crit chance. So we're actually hitting crit, red crits pretty often here, and our crit damage is pretty high. So we've got more crit damage here from getting kills from Galvanized Steel up to 4 times. So there's another 100% crit damage there. And then we've got more status chance and more status damage. And then, yeah, condition overload. This is the bread and butter of the build. So each status type affecting the target gives us 80% melee damage. So let's talk about the easier to obtain regular Atomos. This is a mastery rank 5 weapon. And if we come in here, it's pretty easy to throw together, right? Like, so again, room for improvement. I don't have an Exilus slot. I don't have a secondary arcane adapter. I don't have any of that fancy stuff. And, you know, Ice Storm, you can go do some spy missions, get the upgraded, I think it's called Frostbite or something, I'm not sure. But basically, we just want heat and viral on our weapon. So high status chance on a secondary that actually like hits, it links. So it shoots out a beam, and then that beam will go and bounce around to other enemies, and it's applying status effects to them really, really quickly at a high rate and a high chance. And we want it to apply as many heat stacks as possible because heat reduces their armor up to 50% with multiple stacks. And then we want to apply viral to them as much as possible because this increases damage to health up to 325%. You know, for status effects, that's 320% more melee damage. Conditional overload is very, very powerful. So let's talk about Atomos's bigger brother, the Cedo Prime. So with the Cedo Prime, the very special fun thing here is the unique trait. Alternate fire launches a bouncing glaive with guaranteed status chance. Then it's got built-in condition overload. Primary fire deals 60% additional damage for each status effect on the target. That's insane. Then you can synergize that with Galvanized Savvy, which gives even more direct damage per status type affecting the target for 20 seconds. This stacks twice for an additional 64%, so it's basically double the passive, but it's multiplicative, it stacks in a crazy way, just absurd damage. We've set it up for heat, magnetic, and viral. You can do whatever you want with it. I just want more status effects. Basically, everything's just gonna get like anywhere from like 2 to 5 status effects on them from one little shot into a group, right? So yeah, that's kind of my my current build that I'm working with, and it does everything I need it to do. We talked about the build itself. We talked about priming Steelpath enemies with status effects. Get this gun. Seriously, it's so fun. Regular, without stripping them, you know, it does the job eventually. Or the budget, low mastery rank, you know, availability here. Strip them a little bit with that. It's definitely an improvement. And then eventually, whenever you're mastery rank 15, you can do that. So I hope you learned, and I hope this wasn't too drawn out and boring for you. So let me turn you on to something real quick that you might not have known about. If we come into intrinsics and we look right here, rank 8 and 9, just go ahead and read those. Basically, it's just more health, life, armor, shield, just tankiness for both our Arcwing and our Necromech. Now you would think, oh, well, that doesn't matter. I don't do Railjacks. Well, this persists throughout everything, the whole game. So anytime you're going to use your Necromech and anytime you're going to use your Arcwing, they're going to be tankier because you got engineering up to rank 8 and 9. Same here. Your Arcwing's power and ability power and damage and range and all that is going to be better. And then here, your Arcwing's going to be faster. Who doesn't love that? And, you know, you're going to be able to blink more often and summon your Necromech, you know, whatever. So what I would recommend personally, and you don't have to do this, but an engineer, gunner, gunner. I have a gunner that I use on call because I went ahead and got our intrinsics up. Oop, apologies. I got our command intrinsics up to rank 9, and I'm going to show you how I got so many intrinsics so quickly. Solo, it's really easy to do. It's not even really Railjack, it's just a survival endless mission. So we need a ton of intrinsics. That sounds awful. Come with me. Luckless Expanse. Survival on Venus Proxima. This mission is going to give us a ton of intrinsics. So let's do it together. It's super fast. Void Storm is actually really cool. You could do public and, you know, just treat this like a Void Storm, fissure, opening, get some relics, whatever. I got plenty of Lith relics and I can always farm a ton more. So I'm not that worried about it. I like the increased spawn rates and all that come from it. Just more things to kill equals more affinity. Affinity equals intrinsics. So we're going to pop in here. We're going to do this together really quick just to kind of show it off.
Attention.
Now, my Railjack is kind of decked out. It's not perfect by any stretch of the imagination, but it's decent. It's definitely way overkill for the new war, which is pretty much the only reason that you need the Railjack. But, you know, I want a couple things from here. I want the Ambassador weapon, and I want Ash. So, unfortunately, it's a little bit required for us to do this content. So because I have a gunner, I don't really have to do much. The gunner's going to kind of take care of everything. I'm just going to get close to this cruise ship. We're going to pop out now, run over to our big gun right down here, and we're going to pop this cruise ship real quick. Just hold the button down, let it fully charge, and boop. Cruise ship destroyed. So I'm not sure how long we've been in this mission as of now. Probably not too long. We're going to go ahead and destroy one security node, 2 security node, and we're going to go on inside. So I'm going to get off the pilot seat, run back here, pop out of our Railjack, and go inside here. And now at this point, that was like, I don't know, I don't even want to say a number, like 40 seconds? A minute tops that we actually had to fly around and shoot stuff and do Railjack. Now we're going to spend the next 20 minutes just doing a traditional, normal survival mission. Alright, so that's what we're talking about. We just got our first A rotation rewards, which was Ash System Blueprint, which is great. And we're about to get our first relic opening as well. So, very, very large, multifaceted farm. We're going to pick Dual Zorn Prime, and then this is also really good, the Affinity Booster from doing Survival. This is going to apply throughout the rest of this mission. And it's just gonna give us even more intrinsics. Boop. Let's see what we get. 20 minutes. We got almost 200. And trust me, like I said, I went AFK for like 8 minutes. It took 2 minutes to get to the actual survival thing, give or take, and like to actually like go to the exit and leave. And then 20 minutes actually spent in the survival. So about 22 minutes. We got 200 intrinsics. So I'm going to get all of these up to 8, and then I'm going to call it a day. So I'm going to be spending the next 4 hours or so. Probably just an hour and a half, to be completely honest. We'll be able to get them all to 8. Use the Affinity Blessing, the Affinity Booster, the rest of it. And probably never do Railjack ever again. So, alright, we are getting real close to finishing up Deimos here. So if we look at the Entrati standing, we are really, really close. We can actually finish it today. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. In order to rank up, we just need a Seriglass Shard, 1 Mother Token, 1 Father Token, which we have. So I'm going to go do 1 Bounty, and then we're going to be able to buy the Seriglass Shard, which costs 20 Grandmother Tokens. So let me go do this bounty real quick. Well, there you go. Just got a condition overload, and this is pretty much technically the best place to farm it. So if you were wondering where to go to get condition overload, yeah, your answer's here in Deimos. Just while you're doing your bounties. And one more thing worth mentioning, while you're here in Deimos, you can also be leveling up your Necromech. So I would suggest doing that, and you can farm multiple things all at once. Man, if you're watching the video, yeah, it was fun playing with you. Killer X Bro. Small world, awesome community. It was awesome. That's really flattering. Super fun. You know, I didn't expect somebody to actually recognize me, but that was really, really cool for me. Anyways, we got 750 Kuva, 1000 Indo, and all the Mother Tokens, and this nice little surprise here, Condition Overload. So all in all, that was a pretty successful little 16-17 minutes there. Anyways, Mastery Rank 5 unlocks the Cedo blueprint. We can buy all these components and just get the gun outright with the cost of pretty much just a Forma and some standing. So, you know, where I'm at, 20,000, we can get that in a day. So tomorrow, I'll definitely do the standing, get the Cedo cooking up, and some good mastery rank. All right, episode 5. This was a longer one. Again, a lot of info dump, a lot of educational stuff, but, you know, sometimes you just gotta kind of do that. Next episode should be more entertaining and just a kind of general recap and reaccounting of the week. And I want to leave you with a little bit of homework. If you haven't already, and it's possible for you, I would challenge you to get your Void Rig and your Railjack sorted out and ready for new war and then try your best to get the new war finished. The new war quest is a long one, and it is a little bit challenging, especially to new players. But if you get your Railjack built up a little bit and you get your Void Rig built up a little bit, you shouldn't have much problems. Just make sure that you go in on a Warframe that you're, good with, that's actually modded. Some people, horror stories, they started the new war on some like unranked crappy Warframe and then it just had a horrible time and whatever. So just be careful, be prepared. And next episode, we are going to be breaking out of the new war. We're going to be doing the Zeramin. We're going to be getting into, hopefully, some Incarnans and Archon shards and Archon mods and Arcanes, and so much power creep is kind of like gated behind the new war. So yeah, we need to get it done, and yeah, I think next episode's going to be the time to do it. So before we head out, I just wanted to say thank you guys so much. The amount of support and just, positivity coming from the community here and the reception to the series so far has been absolutely like surreal. I can't even explain, getting to wake up every morning and play Warframe and make content, and you guys just really seem to be enjoying it and accepting me for who I am. And I don't know, it's just it's flattering, and it doesn't feel real, to be completely honest. So I'm grateful. Thank you. So I'm gonna go. Have a good night. Be safe. I'll see you soon.